Welcome, everyone, to A Course in Miracles. I'm Teri Angel here with my co-host, Karen Palmer. Hi, Karen.
Hi.
And our family that's here to discuss A Course in Miracles is Christine and Sunny.
Yeah.
Auntie Jean. And Charlie Charming Coons.
Hello, everyone.
We always start our night before we get into any discussion with going to our hearts. So, Karen, can you lead us in that tonight?
Yes, this is our lesson for February 15th, and this is from the Holy Shift. So let's just be nice and quiet and still and keep our heart open and ready to really receive and rest and trust and listen to the words and going beyond the words, because words are just symbols. Follow back to the place that you've never left. Let yourself really, really return and feel that wonder and awe of coming home to yourself. God does not forgive because he has never condemned. Just rest there for a minute, thinking about that. Thinking about all the ways that we can be so hard on ourselves and condemn ourselves. And gently, just looking with spirit, with God, with our beautiful friend Jesus, at all the times that we have been unkind to ourselves. Maybe it was a time when you were unaware that you were even doing that. Or maybe there was a conditioning or a programming from your childhood where you just didn't feel like you were worthy of being in God's presence. And so you told yourself a new story. Just rest here for a minute and let Holy Spirit tell you the truth. God does not forgive because he has never condemned. God is the love in which I forgive. May all beings, rest in forgiveness. and let forgiveness rest upon all things. Because forgiveness will be given through us and as us. As we allow forgiveness to be the doorway that opens us to eternal freedom. Feel yourself walking in that door. Eternal freedom. Complete forgiveness. First we forgive, and then we understand. We forgive ourselves for being unaware and for thinking that God was angry at us for something that never happened. And we just gently let ourselves come back, feeling completely refreshed and knowing that this forgiveness is for all beings. Everyone on the planet is seeking forgiveness. And because we can do that together as a family, we can radiate that frequency out to all who are unaware that that's what they're looking for. God is the love in which I forgive.
Quite a lesson that we are going into. I love that Pam Grout calls it the F word. Yeah, we'll talk about that. Let's talk about how y'all did with the exercise that we just completed. So
I don't even want to do that one. I want to go right into the next one.
you want to go into the F word?
Oh, God. That was beautiful, Karen.
That was so beautiful.
I'm like, oh my gosh.
We're all looking for it. We all want to feel that forgiveness.
It's like, wow.
Yeah. And I think we really have to go into the prior lesson, God is the mind, which I think that we can understand more what this lesson is teaching us, like, what Karen shared. God doesn't forgive because he never judged.
Right.
It's us, it's this human existence that we judge everything. And, it's even like Sharon says, Sharon has the beautiful movement and no judgment, just love. And she goes, we all judge. And it's true. We all do. So this is trying to help us to understand when we start going into that judgmental attitude or saying something about somebody that maybe did something supposedly to us, right? It's all happening for us, but we see it as happening to us. Then how do we go into like God does and just, no, it's a non-thing. It's there's no need for judgment. I mean, there's no need for forgiveness.
I want to, if you don't mind, just take a minute to thank Karen. I listened to the lesson yesterday, later after we were through, And I had been hearing the different comments. I think Charlie made one and Melanie made one. And then Karen came on and she was talking about how she has to struggle with herself and that judgment comes up. And oh my, I wanted to reach through the screen and kiss you because I had that problem all the time. And I felt like I was some kind of a almost, I hate to say it, but bad person for doing that. And I'm always having to tell myself, why are you thinking that? Go away. I want, I'm seeing with God's eyes. I'm thinking with his mind. Why am I, those things come up. So when you said you struggle with that too, it just made me feel so much
Something that's
better.
really helped, Auntie Jean, that's really helped me is when the ego thought system comes in the back door like that, when I'm in that, in that feeling of that I'm, my mind holds only what I think with God, and the ego comes in with a vengeance, like it comes in and it really, I just say, not now. I don't even go into it with it. I don't give it any attention. I just say, not now. And then
that might help because then I have to reason with
and
myself.
I do this. I go swish and dismiss. I do this. I like I'm swishing away a fly. Not now. And it really has helped me immensely because it's not you, Auntie Jean. It's the thought system. It's the ego thought system. And the ego thought system is not you. It's a combination of all the generations before you that are trying to get your attention. But it's not you.
I had trouble with this lesson for today, the one about, I think, with God's mind. I really did until I had to go in and keep talking to my inner self and to the divine about it until it finally came to me that it's the whole thing. This is from the beginning, we were created with the mind of God, and that's our natural state. The whole war for all this time has been, I don't know whether to call it the evil, the dark, Satan has been trying to make us believe that no, we don't have, we're not supposed to have the mind of God. We're supposed to have our own mind. We're supposed to do things for ourselves. And it's been that war since the beginning of time. But that's not what we want. That's not our natural state. And it finally dawned on me, and it made me feel so much better. Because but I did think in that time, I said, this is why some people have so much trouble with this, with the course, is because if you don't look at it the right way and you don't talk to your higher self and you don't talk to your spirit guides, you feel like someone's trying to, you almost just like the cults where they get a certain person, gets someone to follow them because they believe in that person. Well, this is not the same thing because this is God we're talking about. This is the way we were created. But I think that's what gets people to stop doing it. And I don't know if that makes any sense, but that I'm just really great with it now, and I feel so happy. So I had to share it.
Yeah, it makes perfect sense. It makes perfect sense. And that's why we're doing this, because something I say might resonate with you, or something Teri says might resonate with someone, or something Charlie says might resonate. That's why we're doing this, so that we have all these new perspectives. And every time that we get a lesson, every person is going to have some insight to share. And that's what's so beautiful. And Christine, you have something to share, honey?
Yeah, I love every lesson that you did, Raya, Terry, and thank you for the miracles every day. And Sonny is going back to the vet tomorrow. I will have things with Sonny feeling better.
Thank you, Chris. That was so beautiful.
And Charlie, I hope I didn't interrupt you. I'm so sorry if I did.
No, that's fine, Jean.
I get real excited. You know me.
No, I do the 3 5-minute periods during the day, you know, and it's just you go into that comfort zone. Like, it's just so amazing. It's like, I wish I didn't have all the things I have to do and I could stay there all day. But I have so much to do. But it actually helps me get things done because I got more energy and everything. It actually, you know, and then I'm singing whatever the lesson is. God is the mind with which I think, and, you know, I'm walking around saying it, and, you know, yeah, no, it's really been helpful. You know.
And you know, my friend Teddy, who wrote the Sparkly, he shared something. I'm going to share his lesson in the Facebook group. But he shared something that really, really took a deep, deep place in my heart, and I could really receive it. He said that we understand terms and words in different ways other than how Jesus meant them in the Course in Miracles. So he explained that when we here in the world think of sharing, we think of cutting a cupcake in half, and I'm going to lose half of my cupcake. I'm going to give you a half of my cupcake. And we think of it as sharing like that. But what Jesus is saying is, when you share, you are becoming one with the mind. You are that mind. And when Jesus shares with us, he's not giving us a half a cupcake. He's sharing the kingdom. He's sharing everything with us. And when Jesus writes in the Course and he's sharing these lessons with us, this is what Teddy was explaining, because Teddy had a revelation experience with Jesus, and it changed everything for him. And that's why he did all that he did with the Sparkly edition and everything that he said. Jesus is in charge of time and space and all illusions. And if we can just hand all of our time and space and illusions over to Jesus, he can take care of it, all the minute difficulties of our day. So if we start the day by handing over, that's what he's saying by sharing. When he says to share, he's asking us to become that one mind. And he's inviting us because he's already gone through all of this with the resurrection. And so he's explaining to us, you don't have to go through all that stuff. All you have to do is accept the atonement for yourself. That's all the miracle worker needs to do, is accept the atonement for themselves.
Yeah. I love in the insights, it says, when I get involved in the world of form, which is what we experience, what we see, right, as the illusion of what's outside of us, I lose all sense of what is eternal, what is real. I need these times of following Jesus. Jesus leads me to the place in my mind where truth resides. It's a place past the form, and it cannot be described. I call that the void. I've experienced that, and that's what the angels call it when I am in meditation with them. It never changes. I am nurtured and sustained here. I feel loved and loving in this place. This is what true sharing is. We share one mind. There are no differences. We are one light. There is no distance between us. I love that. That was from the lesson that we just completed, lesson 45, before we even get into thinking about what forgiveness is all about. We really have to know that we're all one mind, that we're all the same. And then when we think about forgiveness, that's seeing separation. That's seeing something that's outside of ourselves.
You know, this is why, okay, you see, I get too excited. This is why we were told in the Bible that we were created in the image of God. Well, of course, you know, we're in a physical form right now. So this God's mind, God's love, that's what it means that we were created in his image, because we're part of him and he's in us. And that's what it means. I'm sorry. So, you know, this is probably obvious to everybody else, but I keep finding these jewels, these wonderful truths that just make me so happy.
Yeah, and there's nothing to be sorry about. You know, there may be somebody that hasn't thought of it that way, Jean. So yeah, your words are so important. You are our wise guru of the mountains.
I'm the one fumbling along and just awakening, I guess, to the beauty of
We're
it
all
all.
walking each other home.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, this lesson on forgiveness, I think for me, it came at the right time, and of course, divine timing. So I'm really taking it to heart, and all day tomorrow, I'm going to be saying this lesson, because I think we all need to understand it more and understand that there really is no outside of ourselves. There really is nothing that's against us, nothing that's trying to harm us. That's only in that ego state that we see that. And yeah, there have been times in my life where I've been unforgiving, when there's people that really, 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 you know, cause some pain and some heart hurt. And it's difficult. You come from the human state of mind. It's difficult to let those things go. And so anybody that's listening to this, and all of us right here, be gentle with yourself. And if somebody has, quote, hurt you, just look at that and just know that that's a part of you that's coming up to be healed. There's something in that there's a reason that it happened. There's a reason for everything. So I can't wait to hear what the lesson has to say for us, Karen. And
Yeah.
I like
an open mind.
I also wanted to share a little something that I wrote about this to myself. This is something that I wrote to remind myself of the truth. So this is just these are little stories that I tell myself, new stories, the real story. I've been telling myself a false story. And this is the real, true story that has been really helpful to me. And maybe it might be helpful to somebody else. So in the land of make-believe, where we are pretending to live apart, I rest, trust, and live in the true heart. I know with certainty we are all one and all love. That is all I need to remember. I choose to be a safe place for anyone who has forgotten who they truly are. I will hold space and see them beyond this illusion of bodies, time, and space. I identify as only love, and this body, mind, and soul is in complete service to love and only love, because only love is real. I won't be fooled again. The morning prayer is right now, and from this moment forward, I identify as only love. I am in service to only love, and I express and radiate only love. All I see is love, and it is too wonderful for words. Thank you, God, for showing me evidence of absolute oneness everywhere. So those are two little just reminders that I received from the frequency of eternal silliness. So I tune into that frequency, and that's the silliness. The fact that we think that we're separate, this is the land of make-believe. The land of love is where it's the real world. And that's where we remember that we're only playing a game here. We're not separate from each other. We're all one. We're all one expression of the divine. So this is a beautiful lesson. I love this lesson. But think about that was what I was writing about from yesterday, from this lesson that we just had. God is in my mind. God is the mind of which I think. And so if I'm going to think like God, I'm going to stop being in the land of make-believe. God doesn't play in the land of make-believe. And I'm not going to play in the land of make-believe anymore either. If other people want to live in the land of make-believe, I'm not going to judge them or have any opinion about that. I'm going to hold space for them to see them as they truly are, beyond what they're showing me, beyond what my 5 senses are telling me. I'm going to go beyond. So that was just a lesson I wanted to just share a little. Those are just little fun little writings that I like to write, just little reminders for myself. So I hope it might be helpful to somebody else. So God is the love in which I forgive. God does not forgive because he has never condemned. And there must be condemnation before forgiveness is necessary. Forgiveness is the great need of this world. But that is because it is a world of illusions. Those who forgive are thus releasing themselves from illusions, while those who withhold forgiveness are binding themselves to them. As you condemn only yourself, so do you forgive only yourself. Yet, although God does not forgive, his love is nevertheless the basis of forgiveness. Fear condemns, but love forgives. Forgiveness thus undoes what fear has produced, returning the mind to the awareness of God. For this reason, forgiveness can truly be called salvation. It is the means by which illusions disappear. Today's exercise requires at least 3 full 5-minute practice periods and as many shorter ones as possible. Begin the longer practice periods by repeating today's idea to yourself as usual. Close your eyes as you do so and spend a minute or two in searching your mind for those whom you have not forgiven. It does not matter how much you have not forgiven them. You have forgiven them entirely or not at all. If you are doing the exercise well, you should have no difficulty in finding a number of people you have not forgiven. It is a safe rule that anyone you do not like is suitable subject. Mention each one by name and say, God is the love in which I forgive you, and share the name. The purpose of the first phase of today's exercise period is to put you in position to forgive yourself After you have applied the idea to all those who have come to your mind, tell yourself, God is the love in which I forgive myself. Then devote the remainder of the practice period to adding related ideas such as, God is the love with which I love myself. God is the love in which I am blessed. The form of the application may vary considerably, but the central idea should not be lost sight of you. You might say, for example, I cannot be guilty because I am the Son of God. I have already been forgiven. No fear is possible in the mind of the beloved of God. There is no need to attack because love has already forgiven me. The practice periods should end, however, with a repetition of today's idea as originally stated. God is the love in which I forgive. The shorter practice periods may consist either of repetition of the idea for today in original or in a related form, as you prefer. Be sure, however, to make more specific applications if they are needed. They will be needed at any time during the day when you become aware of any kind of negative reaction to anyone, present or not. In that event, you tell that person, God is the love in which I forgive you. Ooh-wee, that ought to be a fun one.
Be a fun day tomorrow for sure. Well, I want to say hello to our Suzanne with us. Grace Isis. Grace says, check in with our Godometer. I love that.
Yeah.
And Sharon. Sharon's missing us. She's not feeling so good. She says, I'm forgiving myself for being sick and not with you. Hopefully tomorrow. And on YouTube, we have In Sanabria. The Miracles course is so very needed nowadays. It most certainly is. And thank you for joining in with us. Thank you to everyone listening in. We're going to go into our chanting group now and bring in some love into the world with our chants. So thank you for being here. Our first chant is Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Karen, would you please talk about that? And I'll fix Restream.
Yeah, so this is where we're going to chant 3 times slow, and then we'll chant 108 times all together. Beautiful Auntie Jean will let us know when we get to that magic number, and then beautiful Teri Angel will lead us in a meditation on freedom, and then we'll go into our second chant. So we declare that all obstacles be removed. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. We declare that all barriers, conflicts, and violence be removed. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. We declare that all illusions and illness be removed. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. 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 Om Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha.
Take a deep breath into our heart center. When we think about freedom and just letting go of all those perceived obstacles, all of those barriers that we put up in our minds that we think are holding us back, there really is nothing that's holding us back. There's nothing that's impossible when we open up to spirit. So feel that energy of freedom and let our vibrations lift up higher and higher and higher. And when we're in that very high vibration, we can see those miracles. They're right there. They've always been there. We just need to raise our vibration every day and every moment to think about what is possible instead of what is not possible. And this next chant is one that really helps raise our vibration. Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. Karen, please talk about that. Oh, you're muted, Karen.
This is where we're going to chant 3 times slow, and then we'll chant 108 times. And beautiful Auntie Jean will let us know when we get to that magic number. And then beautiful Teri Angel will lead us in the next part of our session. So we declare that all are accepting, aligning, allowing, and awake. Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. We declare that all are happy and healthy. Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. We declare that all live in peace and harmony and are open and ready to receive miracles. Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. 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 Myoho Renge Kyo.
Renge
Nam
Kyo.
Myoho Renge
Nam
Kyo.
Myoho Renge Kyo.
Nam Myoho Renge
Nam
Kyo.
Myoho
Nam Myoho
Renge
Renge
Kyo.
Kyo. Nam
Nam
Myoho Renge
Myoho
Kyo.
Renge
Nam
Kyo.
Myoho Renge
Nam
Kyo.
Myoho
Nam
Renge
Myoho
Kyo.
Renge Kyo.
Nam
Nam
Myoho
Myoho
Renge
Renge
Kyo.
Kyo.
Nam Myoho Renge
Nam
Kyo.
Myoho Renge Kyo.
Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. Nam
Nam
Myoho
Myoho
Renge
Renge
Kyo.
Kyo. Nam Myoho
Nam
Renge Kyo.
Myoho Renge
Nam
Kyo.
Myoho Renge Kyo.
Nam Myoho
Nam
Renge
Myoho
Kyo.
Renge Kyo.
Nam
Nam
Myoho
Myoho Renge
Renge
Kyo.
Kyo.
Nam
Nam
Myoho
Myoho
Renge Kyo.
Renge
Nam
Kyo.
Myoho Renge Kyo.
Nam Myoho
Nam
Renge
Myoho Renge
Kyo.
Kyo.
Nam
Nam
Myoho
Myoho
Renge
Renge
Kyo.
Kyo. Nam Myoho Renge
Nam
Kyo.
Myoho Renge Kyo. Nam Myoho
Nam
Renge
Myoho
Kyo.
Renge
Kyo. Nam
Nam
Myoho
Nam
Renge
Myoho
Myoho
Kyo.
Renge
Renge
Nam
Kyo.
Myoho Renge
Nam
Kyo.
Nam
Myoho
Myoho
Renge
Renge Kyo.
Nam
Nam
Myoho Renge
Myoho
Kyo.
Renge Kyo.
Nam Myoho
Nam
Nam
Myoho
Myoho
Renge
Renge
Kyo.
Kyo.
Nam
Nam
Myoho
Myoho
Renge
Renge Kyo.
Kyo. Nam
Nam Myoho
Myoho
Renge
Renge
Kyo.
Kyo.
Nam Myoho
Nam
Renge
Myoho Renge Kyo.
Nam
Nam
Myoho Renge
Myoho
Kyo.
Renge
Nam
Nam
Kyo.
Myoho
Myoho Renge
Nam
Kyo.
Myoho
Nam
Renge
Myoho
Nam
Kyo.
Myoho
Nam Myoho Renge
Nam
Kyo.
Myoho Renge
Nam
Renge
Myoho
Nam
Kyo.
Renge
Myoho
Kyo. Nam Myoho
Nam
Renge
Myoho
Kyo.
Renge
Nam Myoho
Nam
Renge
Myoho
Kyo.
Renge
Nam
Nam
Myoho
Myoho
Renge Kyo.
Nam
Nam Myoho Renge Kyo.
Nam Myoho
Nam Myoho
Nam
Renge
Myoho
Kyo.
Renge
Nam Myoho
Nam
Renge
Myoho
Kyo.
Renge Kyo Nam Nam Myoho Renge Kyo Nam Myoho Nam Myoho Renge Kyo Nam Myoho
Myoho
Renge
Renge
Nam
Kyo.
Myoho Renge Kyo Nam Myoho Renge Kyo.
Let's go back into our heart center. If you wish, place your hand on your heart to bring your focus there and slow down your breathing. Every night, we give honor to God, the Creator, by chanting Om, which is the cosmic sound of God. So we'll chant that 3 times slowly and then stay in your heart. Connect the heart and the brain together. Just share that love and let it go to the human brain and say, I love you, and focus only on love. And then we'll give that love out into the world. So take a deep breath in, and we will begin the chanting of Om. Om. As you hold that love, just give it one last hug and then send it out into the world. Be a beacon of light to those who are looking for the light in the dark. Just let this wave of love that we send forth as a group make an impact in the world. And thank you for doing so. Om Shanti Shanti. Peace, peace. We just pray that the love, the joy, this energy of peace that we send forth from our hearts touches even one soul that's looking for that light in the darkness. We pray that this love and peace energy go down deep into the heart of Mama Gaia and be sent forth up through all the layers of earth to reach the souls, even in the distant corners of the world. May peace prevail on earth. Om Shanti.
Shanti, Shanti.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Every night we make a declaration that there's peace on earth.
Yeah.
Karen, would you lead us tonight in that declaration, please?
Absolutely. So this is where we are going to hold the vision that there is peace on earth and that peace begins inside of us. So we'll do that all together. 3, 2, 1. We declare
that there is peace on earth. We declare peace begins inside of us.
Forever.
Always.
Forever.
Amen.
Man.
Amen.
Man.
And
We
we've
are
been doing this for 989 days now. And we've been doing this as a group known as
peace for peace.
Peace for peace.
And there's a beautiful sign I set to night on my background. See, I manifest another sunset. So that's a miracle too.
And Chris, are you a pea?
Yes, I am. And Sunny.
Oh, good. And Karen's a pea, and Teri's a pea, and Charlie's a pea. Is Marlene here? Arlene's a pea. And
she's a pea anyway.
she is
Oh,
a
yeah.
pea. And there's lots of peas, and there's going to be more.
Gracie's a pea.
Gracie's definitely a pea. Everybody's a pea. They just don't know it yet. So wouldn't you like to be a pea for peace too? And I should have sang that, but I couldn't. Love you all and be kind.
Be kind.
Very
Thank you.
important.
And I know that there's a word like when something is the same forward and backwards. Is it onomatopoeia, something like that? But that's what today is, Charlie. 989 is the same forwards and backwards.
A
So it's
palindrome.
very, very beautiful energy.
There we
It's
go.
called a palindrome.
A palindrome? Is that what it is? Okay.
I see that all the time on license plates. Like 8668 or whatever. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Well, whatever it is, it's beautiful energy. And we
go.
know that the hills are alive.
Right.
Because we're chanting, and this sounds out everywhere in the world when we chant. And the sound of chanting and the smiles on faces and the sprinkling of peace everywhere.
Yeah.
Because, as Gracie would remind us, peace is
coming
around the corner when we chant.
Peace
is around the corner when we chant. Peace is coming around the corner with the smiles on
people's faces.
Peace is coming around the corner when
we chant.
Boy, are we good singers.
And be kind. That's all right.
Be kind.
We're singing from the heart, Auntie Jean, and that's all that matters.
Harmony of the heart.
That's right. We're not going on America's Got Talent.
No,
Happy Hearts Connect. Happy Hearts
That's right. Happy Hearts Connect.
America.
I love
America Idol too.
Yeah. All right. So we're going to get out of here. Let everybody get on with your day or night, wherever you may be. Thank you for joining us. We love you so much. Stay in your hearts and stay blessed. And we leave you with
Good night.
Bye, everyone. See you tomorrow.
Bye.